Let's see. My name is Jennie Hinchcliff. I'm the exhibitions manager here at the San Francisco Center for the Book. Tonight, Maureen Forys, my co-curator of the exhibition Retro Introspection, Moving the Past into the Forward, is here, and we're going to be interviewing Isabelle, Fleurelien, and Stephanie Russ, Seepress. We're very excited to host them, and we're ready to talk with them, so that'll be super exciting. Let's see, some housekeeping. You guys are all doing a great job. Those of you who've been attending these events, these lectures, already know, please turn off your audio and please turn off your video feed. It's less distracting for our conversation once we get started, discussing with the artists and really digging into their work. So I think without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump in. Yeah, Maureen?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
So here we go. Okay, Isabelle Fleurelien is a visual artist whose work explores themes of spirituality and cultural identity. Stephanie Russ works primarily in printmaking and print media, specializing in lithography, screen printing, and digital prints. Together, they collaborate under the name Seepress, and they're located in Montreal, Canada. And we're very thrilled to have them with us tonight. Thank you so much, Stephanie and Belle. It's great to see you.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
And you're our first international talk.
We're excited. How are things in Montreal?
Quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very quiet. But it's not so bad.
Quite as good, right? Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to talk with you about Boat Stories, your work that's on exhibit in Retro Introspection. It's a really fascinating and interesting piece.
It is. And are we ready? Are we just going to jump in? All right, cool.
Let's do it.
All right. So we have a few questions that we're going to ask and hear about this amazing book and all the structures that go into the book.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we really would love to hear from both of you about is how did the idea and concept for Boat Stories actually originate? And also, which came first, the structure or the text?
Well, first off, Steph and I wanted to thank you guys both, Jennie and Maureen, for putting on this event. We were so excited to be part of it. And the extension and the live chats are a fantastic idea. We think this is great, and we're really happy to be part of this too. So how did this start? Well, basically, Steph and I had just come off finishing a book called Undar. It was our first collaboration book work together. And that got us an invitation to a residency in a print studio in a city called Trois-Rivières, Three Rivers, in Quebec. So we went to do the residency there, and that's when we wanted to think about what we were going to do. So the first book was about water, and we kind of felt we wanted to continue with that theme, kind of continue exploring the theme of water. And the great thing about this the studio, it's called Atelier Presse Papier, and it's right across from the Three Rivers Trois-Rivières port. So from the studio, when you're working, you can actually see the water, you can see the boats. And after a few visits, we decided that we were going to take that journey, continue with the collaborations and continue working with water themes. This is when we decided to invite some writers to kind of supply some stories for us. We thought it'd be really nice if they would be stories about travels on water or their experiences with water that they've had. And from that point, Stephanie had been working with ceramics for some time, and she decided that it would be a nice idea to go sculpturally and maybe decide to work with ceramics to do the casing for the book. So we wanted writers, we wanted to do ceramics, and then it was about how do we put this together. So for the writers, we weren't sure. We decided to kind of hone it down to some people that we knew. people we thought might have stories. So we reached out to some individuals that we both each had in our court, and they all said yes. That was really great.
Wow.
So we had 4 different writers. And for the 5th book, that's another story, how that came about. But yeah, and so what really came about is we sent out the call out to the 4 individuals, and then Steph got working right away on ceramics. That was, I'll leave it to Steph to talk about her journey with the ceramics and how that turned out for her.
Yeah. Yeah, can you tell us about the ceramics? Because it's a key part of the work. Yeah, just
yeah. I think I had been, I'd done ceramics before in the past, but I had done mostly throwing. And I wanted to get back to hand building. And I, you know, having finished the project with Belle, the first book we made, I wanted to move away from a more traditional kind of casing for the book. And so we thought about a ceramic one, and the fact that the stories were taking place on the water, we sort of explored the idea of having kind of boat shapes, and everything I tried wasn't really working. The more research I did, I realized that the kind of barnacle, I was doing research about kind of sea creatures, all kinds of aspects of the ocean, and I came across the humpback barnacle, and the humpback barnacle attaches itself to a humpback whale, and it travels the ocean. And so I kind of love the symbiotic relationship of this barnacle attached to the whale that would travel the ocean, and it just became a kind of perfect idea to be the vessel that would carry these small, intimate accordion books. And you can see they nestle right inside the barnacle. So it was kind of that dual relationship between the stories and the ceramics. And so that's sort of how it took off. And so that's how we developed the books. Like Belle said, 2 of them were people she invited, 2 were that I invited. And the 5th book, which I'll let maybe Belle continue just so we move back and forth, was a really fun story of how we finally came to the 5th book, which was Joram's book. Belle, do you want to talk about that one?
Yes, we can share this. So I'm trying to think of the time frame, Steph, if you can just remind me. I think we had all our stories. We had been working, the book started, I think, in summer 2019. So we started the whole project at that point, the residency at that point, and we would go up every other weekend. We had planned some weekends to go up to work in the studios there. And then at some point, we were making really great progress on all the stories, the visuals. It was really great. The writers just submitted stories that had to be, the only rule was under 350 words. So everybody did a great job giving us really great stories. And then the scary part came about where we were getting near ending this residency and we did not have our 5th story. So at this point, one weekend, we'd spend our weekends there. We were out on the walk at night on the docks, and there was a lot of these huge cargo ships would be stationed there there'd be different ones every other weekend. And there happened to be one night, just one boat with one I guess it looked like a security guard working on the boat from the distance, and you did not have access to the boats. They had the security guard, like a gate, so you couldn't access them. But from the distance, we could see him, and I just decided to wave at this random stranger, and he waved back at me, and this went on for like back and forth a couple times.
Wow.
And I think we went for a walk actually down the dock. We came back, and it was pretty late. We were going back to the apartment, and there he was coming down the boat and walking his way towards us. And we met at the gate. We introduced ourselves. He was this young man from the Philippines. He was 3rd Naval Officer. That meant he was in charge and responsible for the safety and the security of the entire ship. And we told him about the project. We just winged it. We were like, do you want to talk to us about what you do in your life on this boat? And he said, okay. And we said, we'll meet you here tomorrow. And the next day he was there. We just met up with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
we invited him to the studio, and he came all dressed, you know, really neatly dressed. He came and he supplied us with a USB key with several hundred photographs, like incredible photographs of being aboard the boat, as well as all this written text about his experiences. It was almost like he just handed us the whole story.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Belle and I, we always have this way of talking about when things aren't coming. We just have this way of saying, just wait, it's gonna come, it's gonna come. And like it just beautifully just came to us, you know, on a great summer night, and like in Twelve, yeah, go figure.
And it sounds like
magic.
It's actually is it a big port?
It's very small. Like
okay.
How many? I mean, maybe there'd be 4 or 5 cargo boats there at a time. Belle, is that about right?
1 or 2. I think I never saw more than 1 or 2.
Yeah.
When we were there.
Even more magical then.
Maybe they're just going by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we kept trying to find a way to get on the boat. We'd gone to see the, you know, the boat security to see if we could get access. We'd gone to try to speak to the Coast Guard. We kind of looked at the history of Trois-Rivières. We just kept trying to find this book, and it just wouldn't come. And then finally just going out for a walk and waving to a guy on the deck, and then all of a sudden the book was there.
That's fantastic.
An amazing story. That's amazing. Were there any other just like beautiful synchronicities like that happened with this project?
I have one I'd tell. We, at that point, we had probably 3 of the writers we were thinking of. And we didn't have Kath yet. Kath is a friend of Steph's. And I remember we were driving, I don't know where, and all of a sudden the car in front of us had a license plate from New Brunswick?
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia, and it has a sailboat on it. And Steph, I don't know who pointed it out, but Steph saw it and immediately thought of her friend Kath. And all of a sudden she's like, I'm going to send her an email. And she sent us a poem. She sent us a text for the book. Yeah.
Well, I knew she took her kayak out on the ocean, and I thought, what a nice intimate kind of interaction with the ocean, being on a kayak, and asked her if she would write something about that experience. And so she wrote a poem. So everyone kind of came with their own choice of how they wanted to approach the project. It wasn't like it was fixed in any way. You know, we had a documentary filmmaker who was working from his own experience. We had a friend of Belle's who lives on a boat and just essentially travels back and forth from Canada to the US, Florida, back to New Brunswick, and all his experiences on the boat. So it was kind of a really nice mix of different people with different experiences. And it was just for us a really great experience to collaborate with different voices and then have to create images that worked with those voices.
That's a good segue. We have a movie that Jennie snuck into the center and took so we could get a full 3D experience of what this book looks like installed. I'd love to play that. So Jennie, can you stop sharing your screen so I can share mine? And hang on, share screen.
So the video coming up was filmed at the center, and this is the piece installed. And if you guys would like to talk about what we're seeing, that would be great.
Belle, I'll let you speak.
So top left, you'll see, so Depth is Kath's book, Catherine's. The one here, bottom right, would be Albert's. Both stories, that's just our colophon. We like to make a little booklet colophon that kind of fills you in on what the background story is. And gives you an idea what the stories are about. This little box that we see with the ceramic topper, these came after, actually. We realized that we wanted to gift everybody their book and wanted to give them a feeling of the larger piece, because of the vessels. I mean, Steph, I think you made 5 large vessels, 5 large barnacles. So we thought it would be nice for everyone to get a smaller version of that. So we made a smaller box with, Steph, I think, made over like a couple 100 miniature hand sculpted barnacles.
Wow.
And she made little ceramic plates. I mean, a lot of work went into this, a lot of studio. And so we made these little intimate boxes. So each artist has their own box for each book. And then there's the larger boxes. The one that you have there is a larger box that holds all the 5 books and the colophon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. I had never seen a ceramic cover to a box before. It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly gorgeous. I mean, as we were unpacking everything out of the crate, it was just like, it was like Christmas. I mean, we'd take this layer of foam off, and there would be this giant, you know, barnacle revealed. Yes. And then we take it out of the top, and it's like, oh my God, there's books in there.
In there.
It was such a great experience. You know?
That's great to hear. On that little one there, that's a smaller barnacle. There's a few of those also that accompany the set. There's different ways of installing the pieces.
There we go.
This is the first installation ever, so we're very excited about it.
This is a really recent book. I mean, you came up with this last summer. Like, it's not even a year old. That's amazing.
Wow.
No,
it is.
No, not yet. Yeah, it would have been nice to see it, but it's kind of far away for us to travel out there right now.
Well, we're going to have a virtual tour.
Right.
The covers were all hand screen painted. There's a lot of work in those covers in the little oceanscape that we have. It's both Steph and I who collaborated on creating washes, screen washes, and line drawings. Actually, some of the washes I think were from Florida that I did. Yeah, so there's a lot of water theme in the work itself.
Yeah.
Don't mind our little.
Wow.
And the book that we first worked on, Undar, was very large. It was about 17 by 22 inches. And I know for this project, we were like, let's just scale it down a lot more. Like, it was getting kind of intense working so big.
Right.
Yeah. But I think just as much time goes into it, it doesn't matter what.
Sort of curious, you talked about your previous work together, Undar, and you referred to water themes before. I don't know that book. I was wondering if you could talk to us a bit about your history working together and the collaborations that you've done together, and are there themes that are traveling all the way through? I mean, this seems like a totally unique book, the structure, the stories, the fact that there were 5, but then what were you working on before? You know, what's the through line that's...
Steph, do you want to?
Undar was our first book, and I guess it comes back to thinking about how we started collaborating. And I think I reached a certain point in my production where I wanted to bring other people into my practice. I felt like I wanted a larger dialogue. An artist working in a studio alone is challenging sometimes, and I wanted that kind of interaction. So I invited a few of my friends, and Belle was one of those people. And we were a group of 4 women at the beginning who were just kind of exploring the idea of working collaboratively. And we decided just to start with a very general theme. So we thought water was a great place to start. And we all were going to start developing our own projects about water, and then thinking about how we could all come together. But Belle and I seem to always find ourselves kind of interested in the same ideas and the same visuals. We started by making 2 video pieces together, which went really well. And then the video pieces kind of moved into thinking about a larger book. And so we spent, it feels like years making that one, but it probably about a year and a half. It was a really, really big project. It's probably the biggest project I've done in terms of edition prints and you know, just the whole structure and the box and how the book was made. But I think that's how it started, and we realized we worked so nicely together. And you know, it's funny, last night Belle and I were talking about collaboration, and I think I'll pass it back to you, Belle, because you had said we had discussed it and made quite a few points about what was the really strong points of working collaboratively.
Yeah, I was reflecting on that because I think I never really sat down and thought about how we work together. I mean, not really. Knowing that we'd have to maybe talk about it, it was really great to realize that working alone, working collaboration, completely different in the sense that there's this great, like we toggle back and forth between supporting and challenging each other constantly. And it's this really fluid way of us working. And there's also this, how can I say, what I found that was really different is working with Steph, it's about letting go. If I let go of control and just trust what happens, all of a sudden we seem to just like power through work and decision making, and the resolve happens a lot quicker. Even though you're challenged just as much, I find that it's really, the key was really letting go of the control and just trusting each other's decision making and trusting the criticism and being open to going really, really far and having somebody pull you right back again. And and the magical part is all the serendipitous moments where, I mean, there's times when Steph and I would meet every Friday. So there's times when, you know, we move apart, the week goes on, and I have a thought, she has a thought during the week. We meet on Friday, we have the same thought. It's like, we're just excited to share and like, oh, we're thinking the same thing. It's really great and it's really magical. So it helps you go through like the days that it doesn't work out so well when you have a lot of homework to do.
Yeah, I mean, it brings a whole additional level, I think, to the work that is sort of the final project of it all, you know, that sort of teamwork and that sort of being inside one's zone and kind of brain. You can really sense that, especially in this piece. And I love all the different voices, the 5 additional authors' voices that you've brought in as well. It really creates this piece that's very rich and very deep. It's fantastic.
I think what also strikes me about the collaboration too is the magic and the serendipitous the things that were happening is that's also reflected in the piece is and we all know this, I think, when we're working, we kind of get stuck in our own heads and don't have that person to bounce things on, but you also are then giving each other permission to be in this vulnerable creative space that you would not have access to otherwise. And I mean, the results are magical here. So
That's great. I'm going to bring up a slide that I was really super interested in, and I'm hoping you can talk about.
While Jenny's finding that slide, I just want to tell the rest of the group, if you have questions, please use the chat feature and start typing them so that we can do some Q&A at the end as well.
So I have a question about this particular piece because it's amazing. It's truly incredible, and my understanding is that this is the front side and the back side right here that we're looking at. Is that the deal?
It's a double-sided book.
Oh, so tell us about it.
Yes.
Do you want Belle or me? Like,
both and.
Whoever wants to.
It's a double-sided book. On one side, you have the text that Joram had given us, and essentially they're quotes from the interview we did with him about his experiences on the boat. And it was interesting because as a third officer, we were so sure that it was going to be about his job on the boat and what it meant to be on a small crew. But everything he talked about was about the stars. It was about going up on the deck after the end of his shift. It was about seeing the water when it was as still as anything, that it was like a sheet of glass. It was about the rare times that he was able to see sea turtles or dolphins, or because it was such a rare event. And so everything was about nature, and it kind of really took us by surprise. So what we did was we did the text on one side, and on the other side of the book, I realized you could go online and find out where the stars were at exact moment in time. So we looked for the exact star formation of the night in Trois-Rivières where we met him. And we copied that formation of the stars onto the back and then punched holes for all of the constellations that showed. So you could see the light passes through the book just like a starry night when you're looking at it. So I think for Belle and I for both of us, this book was very special. And just the whole experience of meeting Joram and the way the whole book came together was really a great experience for both of us.
Yeah, I wanted to add also, Joram, in Joram's photos, you see a lot of descriptions of his jobs and the people that he works with. One of the things that he had that surprised us is that he showed us a picture of star maps. They're really basic printouts from a computer, but this is something that he had to learn in school to understand how to navigate, which I didn't even know they would still teach.
That's so timely.
Yeah, he was really excited about that, and he actually had a picture of it. And when we saw it, we realized that that was also very important to him, and it would be nice to have that integrated into his book with his quotes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I guess I have a question,
Right,
especially. I have questions. You know, like this is a very specific structure based on the text. So, you know, there are 5 different booklets, which we can see them all in a bundle right here. So, like, how did the two of you go about sort of matching up structure with text? Because it seems like everyone's stories are so different and so varied that in a way it would almost be overwhelming to choose, you know, structure, to match up structure in words.
The structure came first. I think we knew the size, the scale we were going to work at. And we also understood, I think when Stephanie had decided that she was going to be making the barnacle vessel, that bound us to that format. Once that was done, I think, if I'm wrong, Stephanie, correct me, I think we actually tried it out. We had a mock of the book. And we actually tried, how many words can fit on this at this type font, like this size, like 12 point. We're like, we're gonna cap it at 350 and that's it. Yeah. And then with that, we were like, cross our fingers that it fits.
Yeah.
I know for Nate's story, he was the one with the most text. And I think he probably was at 350, if I'm not mistaken. It's amazing. And it was a little bit challenging to find out what kind of visuals do you put with a story like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it worked out really well, actually. It was tricky, but it worked out well. Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have some technical questions more technical questions from the audience about your structure. We've got, people are curious about what paper that is that it's printed on, and also what the flat size of the folded books are. You happen to know that?
I think the paper, this one is Kozuki white. It's a Japanese paper.
Yeah.
So it's a heavy white Japanese paper. The books are different sizes because some have more panels than others.
I see. Right.
So I think Kath's book, Depth, the poem, is the shortest book. And Joram's is the largest book because it opens up into, 4 panels. Right. Whereas the other books are just the front and back.
I see.
And the height of those books, Belle, do you remember the full size of Joram's?
So, did you want to know the size of it closed or open?
People just have lots of questions about the structure because it's so beautiful and fascinating. So
closed, it would be, the height would be 3 3/4 by 4 1/4.
Okay.
That's closed. And let's say the shortest length is about, I'm trying to measure it here, about 26 or so.
Yeah.
It's long. Yeah. And then for Joram's, it's just that it's double the width. Basically, let me just see.
Added panels.
Yeah, double the width.
Got it.
About 15 wide by about 30. Yeah.
And then remind us how many of the, what was the edition size of these?
7.
7 total.
Okay. Yeah. With the way it works out is because the vessels there's only two official, let's say, with the, I think we call them prime editions. We're trying to find names for them. The 2 large vessels that like the one that you guys have now. There's 2 of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which are for the 7, and then the rest are packed in like our smaller boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really interesting. I have a question from Kate Godfrey, who says, a brilliant project. Sensitive the moment and the flow of time during the project. She wants to know about ceramics and shrinking and firing. Did you build the barnacle vessel first?
Did I, with regards
Did you
to
build?
fire?
Yeah, she was thinking about shrinking and firing, and just was wondering if you built the barnacle vessel first.
Collaboration really work, because I'm so bad at realizing, and it's a mix of porcelain and raku clay.
Okay.
And so I knew the shrinkage was about 13%. And so I, and Belle helped me with this because there's no way I would have been able to do this, but we actually made cardboard panels and assembled them with tape to get a basic structure. And
Oh,
so
wow.
it
Okay.
was actually slab built and coil built. So like a kind of combination. So I cut out the slabs of these kind of very geometric shapes and then put them together with the coils on the outside. So it was kind of, even just the structure, even though I built the ceramics, it was collaborative with Belle in terms of figuring out how to do it. And Belle has ceramics experience. So, you know, this is where it's constantly a kind of back and forth flow of information.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. Should we take a couple more questions?
That's all we have right now. Does anybody else have anything they want to ask?
Oh, I have a question for the 2 of you. Do you, by any chance, have favorite like snippets of copy or text that you like from this book? Do you have favorite pages that you would read by chance?
I can read something, like when you had asked us if we would read, if there was any passage I would read, and it would be from one of the books. If you want, I could read that text.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love it.
This is Nathaniel Penn's story, and he's a correspondent at GQ. He's a friend of mine, and it's the story of a young boy's journey across the Atlantic, escaping the Kovno ghetto during the Nazi occupation in Lithuania.
Oh, I have a bit.
So I'll just read a short part, but it's, when the Americans let us, we would go up to the deck to see the ocean. The Americans were taking care of us, Hershey bars. It was the first time I'd ever tasted chocolate. I remember chocolate and trying to understand what the hell was going on, and my mother telling me everything was going to be okay. I was a star attraction because there were not too many little boys who were alive. In the ghetto, there had been a law, the Kinder Action, that there could not be any more children under 12. After 5-6 days, everybody rushed to the deck. I remember my mother held me and we looked at this thing, this green thing. I didn't quite understand what it was, but I knew it was something to be excited about. And so that's the boat crossing the Atlantic and reaching New York.
Beautiful.
So I just really, it's a very moving story, and that's his book there on the screen.
Yeah.
And that text was, we really wanted to kind of think about the story as being in a very dark and difficult time, but then it moves towards the light, and that's why it moved from black to white, and the text went from white to black as it moves through the book.
Yeah. Yeah, this book is really, you know, in the gallery we have I think like 2 of them kind of stacked on top of each other, and we have the other 3 open to different pages. This is the one that people always, when they, you know, when they stop to talk to us about the exhibit, they talk about this book because of the writing and how moving it is.
Yeah, we got a comment here from Lisa Beth saying when the film started, she got goosebumps. It's absolutely lovely. And I have to tell you, throughout this conversation, I've had multiple times where I've been totally taken over by goosebumps. I mean, you've really created something special here.
Wow.
So.
Thank you. That's so nice to hear.
Yeah.
you know, when you're immersed in a project so much, and for Belle and I, like every time we love what we're doing, and you know, we hope that that people get some enjoyment from it. So it's great to hear that. Yeah, enjoying it.
I think we'll just do this one last question. Will be a good way to close up. Kate Godfrey wonders, did you come away from the project with an idea of where to go next, or the need to take, oh, wait, or the need to take a really long nap?
I'll let Belle feel this one.
No napping. No time.
No napping, no napping allowed.
No nap. Next book. We don't. Where to go next? We have a couple of themes that we've been trying to work on repeatedly, and we never seem to get to them. So we're not short of ideas, that's for sure. I can't even remember what happened after that book. Yeah, no, I don't know. We have a new kind of concept we're working out right now, but it's very much in the beginning, and it's very different. I think we wanted to take a break from the water theme.
Right.
We wanted to work on other elements, but we were like, no, it's too similar. Let's take a break and let's challenge ourselves into another universe, another concept. Yeah. And it's a big one right now. So we're
a water nap.
So now we're just kind of trying to figure out where we're going to go. But I think we're getting a little bit used to this rhythm that we have.
Yeah.
And I think we're becoming more familiar with, you know, the beginning works a certain way, and you just trust the process. You just kind of keep pedaling through it. Yeah. And you get these sparks that, you know, the little spark that lights up that tunnel. And I think things are starting to sparkle right now. So yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
It is.
And it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, promise us that you'll stay in touch and let us know what your future work looks like.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Nice. No, you guys, thank you so much.
Enjoyed to explore this with you.
Yeah, it's an amazing, amazing book. We feel so honored and so fortunate to be able to exhibit it, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Very grateful too.
Yeah. So in wrap up, what I'll say is Maureen and I are going to be taking a break next week from our artist conversations, but we're going to be back the first week in May. So you can join us back in May. We'll have those events listed on the SFCB website in about 2 or 3 days. So you can join. The best way to hear about all of our events going on is if you subscribe to the SFCB newsletter. You can do that on our homepage, left-hand side. It says enter your email address and it's fine. You can also always our website, www.sfcb, as in boy, .org. Otherwise, thanks for joining up, everybody. Thanks, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.